They say nobody lives here. It's just the workers. It's a very big island. And the castle is over there.
Some of the people used to call the island of Makana, the island of Terror, and the island of Seals. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, education on Robben Island was not a right, it was a privilege.
I've said I was also a prisoner kept in this prison. I was arrested on the 18th of June 1984. We were 2,500 prisoners, plus 25 prison cars. I'll take you through to the cell of the late Comrade Nelson Mandela, where he spent 18 years sleeping on the floor, on the 2 mats and the 3 blankets.
Nelson Mandela, so where's his picture? Where's his name? Nothing. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ifya Kimora here. If you're old here, I really appreciate you for coming back always, but if today's your first time seeing my video, I'm glad you found my channel. But please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell for more of such interesting and adventurous videos. This is my number 10 country in South Africa, and today we are here exploring the Robben Island. This place holds a lot of history about what do you call it, political prisoners, Nelson Mandela, anything that you want to know about South Africa. On the island, we are here for it, so you gotta stay tuned, watch the video, how we are going to get here, everything from the beginning. You gotta stay tuned, watch the video to the end. Let's go. Guys, I've made a huge mistake. I've made a huge mistake. I've deleted everything, the whole file for today. Jesus. I made a silly mistake, which sometimes, yeah, it happens to content creators a lot, and even in whatever job that you are in, such a thing can happen to you. I deleted the initial video, that is the beginning of this video, how we booked and how we joined the ship to the island, but it wasn't that costly. Yeah, it was just some few content, so I can just narrate everything to you guys. So my friend who has lived here in South Africa for long, but he's from Ghana, booked the ship way before. Yeah, he booked the trip way before me coming here, and it cost 600 rand per person, and the trip starts at 10 a.m. So we got here before 10 a.m. We joined the queue. They're going to check your passport for boarding the ship, and then the ship will take off. So that's where we are now. So we continue from here. I don't know what he's talking about because we can't hear him. Yeah, I don't know whether I can zoom them in. They are coming. Oh, you see them? Whoa, they just come and rest. Yeah.
So they have to come out every once in a while to warm up.
Yeah, yeah.
There to get some sun, and then they'll go back in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Men planning while we're delayed in a pay.
this Robin Island, Cape of Good Hope Castle Museum. We are cruising. Guys, I just found out that you are going to the Castle of Hope, where Mandela was imprisoned. Yeah, finally I found out. So we're going to learn more history over there. Right now I can't tell you much, but you're going to learn everything over there. So stay tuned, okay? But how to get here? You book a ticket online with a cruise ship, which is 600, all cost inclusive, the entrance fee, everything is inclusive. 600 rand, 600 South African rand. Guys, can you see we're almost there? Robin Island. We are almost there. First, Nelson Mandela was in prison. Robin Island. Almost there. Almost. Oh, so they say nobody lives here. It's just the workers. It's a very big island. And the castle is over there. So we are almost there. Nobody lives there, but there are lots of houses. Let's go see how places. The network is working? Oh, okay, okay. The birds? Whoa. Birds. You know their name? Oh, okay. And they built, what do you call it, this? Something to prevent the sea from coming on. So the water changes at every point. It goes to green, it goes to blue, it goes to black. They're making it 10. That's a lady doing that. Okay, I can just stretch my hand. So we are out of the ship. Yeah, we are out of the ship. And I don't know where we are going next, but he says you're going to get into a bus. And the bus is going to take us to the castle. Castle of Good Hope. Where Mandela was imprisoned. So how long did we... Let me check how long from Cape Town to this island. Set off around 11:30 and it's now 12:25. Okay, 45 minutes or 55. Okay, we just wasted some time over there. Oh, let's go. So we are going. This is the island, so the whole place is an island. My first time on an island. They have canteen, restaurants, everything here. So those living here, like they just work here, but there is no permanent residency here. Okay, so the workers just live here and then they go back to Cape Town when they are on break, like off days. So you're going to join a bus.
Good afternoon to all.
You want to get into the bus?
Please make your way down to the bus.
Robin Island.
Please make your way down to the buses. All the buses depart from the island. Thank you.
we are inside the bus. She's going to take us. So inside the bus, they're going to give us history, show us around.
Is gonna
Okay.
give us a speech and all this stuff.
Okay, very nice.
No
problem. Oh, no problem. Hi. They are white guys, but most of them are friendly. Some are from US, UK, Canada, Germany, African Americans. We are leaving and it's 12:32. Robben Island. Going into the Robben Island.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And how's your boat trip?
Brilliant.
Good, brilliant. Your coach trip is going to be bumpy. I'll advise you to tighten up your seatbelts. Seatbelts, please. Thank you very much. I was just kidding. On behalf of the Robben Island Museum, I wish to welcome you to the island. My name is Nozuko and I'll be your tour guide. Then my associate is Pa. What is going to happen now? We'll first go around the island. We'll be stopping to some certain places whereby we're taking pictures, but mostly through the windows. If we have time, we'll allow you to disembark from the coach. You are kindly requested to ask questions as many as you want. Take pictures as many as you wish, but you're not allowed to smoke as you are driving around. If you survived not smoking the whole 45 minutes, why don't you quit? Then the maximum security prison will be our last part. Welcome to South Africa on Robben Island, whereby you can meet a world in one couch. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Are there any South Africans in this couch? People from South Africa except me and Spa? From which province?
Gauteng.
Gauteng, the GP is the gangster's paradise.
Yeah.
No looting in Cape Town, okay? Is there any province other than Gauteng? I'm still in Africa, my continent. Are there any people from Africa here?
Yeah.
From which country?
Zambia.
Zambia. Thank you very much for your contribution during the apartheid era, okay?
From Ghana.
Is there any problem? Sorry, any country again? Yes, ma'am. at the
From
back.
Ghana.
From Ghana.
Kenya, Jambo Sana.
From
Can you
Ghana.
please tell us your secret? Why are you always winning some long distances in the Olympic Games? Especially the gold medals. Where do you train? Where do you train?
In our country, you're welcome to visit.
Huh?
In our country, and you're welcome to visit.
Where do you train? You want to know. I don't want to visit. You want to know your secret.
Mountains. You run around the mountains.
On the mountains, yes, that's the answer that I wanted. So guys, let's advise our athletes to train on the mountains and take mountains. Okay. Is there any country again in Africa?
Ghana.
Ghana, you like? I don't have something to say about you. Is there any country again in Africa? Let's fly to Europe. People from England? Yes. Oh, shame on you. I feel sorry for what you did to you last year on rugby. Okay, I think it's high time for you to hire me as your coach. People from Holland, you see I'm wearing your bus, my English friend. America. From which state in America?
New York.
New York. Is there any state again?
Kansas.
Kansas. Is there any state again?
California.
California. How's Arnold Schwarzenegger doing? Tell us how is he doing?
It's doing all right.
No, he's no longer now the governor. He's the Terminator. Back to the movies. He always promised us that we'll be back. People from Canada, France, Belgium, Australia, I've got news for you, and there is bad news. We'll get them later on. Is there any country that I didn't mention in this couch? Yes, sir.
Switzerland.
Switzerland, please bring back our diamonds and gold. Is there any country again?
Italy.
Italy, ciao. Did you bring us some spaghetti bolognese?
No spaghetti.
Oh, is there any country again?
España.
Spain. You know what I like, ladies and gentlemen, about the Spanish? Is the tomatina, when they throw each other with tomatoes. Is there any country again? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, all the countries mentioned in this card contributed a lot in the history of South Africa, especially during the dark days. If it was not for your support, Robben Island would still be a prison, would still be in chains of apartheid. Please do the same thing to other countries who are experiencing the same problem we had. Okay, let's give an applause on that. If you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be shouting you for the next 45 minutes. Do you mind? No. Without wasting any time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Marihada, which was named after a whaler who was granted a permission by British to establish a whaling station in 1806. Then in 1820 was asked to leave because his boats were a great temptation to convicts. Again, it's where the Xhosa chiefs were fighting colonial wars. Dispossessed wars were banished on hearts. Chief Siolo was banished with his wife. Chief Makoma was also banished with his wife. Then among those Xhosa chiefs was a Xhosa prophet by the name Makana. Some of the people used to call the island of Makana, the island of terror, and the island of seals, because Robben is a Dutch word which means seals. Makana stole a boat, tried to escape. His boat capsized and it drowned in the sea. The people who escaped were brought back on Mari Harbor. They were beheaded. Do you understand me so far?
Yes.
Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. The building in front of us was the visitors center for political prisoners and their families. The political prisoners would march all the way from the maximum security prison in chains. They would use the vanished or the bed to enter. Their families or beloved ones would disembark from the DRC historical vessel. They would use the grace door in front. If your mark is not A, you are allowed to have contact visit. But contact visits started in 1986. Then other notches were separated by glass partition. And the visit would proceed 30 minutes. Languages which allowed to be spoken were English and Afrikaans. No African language was allowed. The building with the green dome on your far right is a Muslim shrine or a Karamat. Built on the grave site of the prince was also resisting the Dutch rule in East Indies. He was a holy man who used to write some holy scripts, and he was preaching Islam from the east. Then the Dutch banished him on the island in 1744. When he died in 1754, his bones were taken back to his country to be reburied properly. We have approximately 29 shrines around the Western Cape. A Muslim community comes regularly to pay respect. And the prince's name was Sheikh Abdurrahman Matura of Jafet. And the Karamat was built in 1969 by the political prisoners. Can you pronounce the word Sheikh Abdurrahman Matura?
Sheikh Abdurrahman Matura.
Thank you. The South African flag has been half mast. Then the answer is there were soldiers who fell in a DRC 3 weeks ago. So they'll be brought home tomorrow morning. So that's why now the flag is half mast.
The flag is
Because of them. Robben Island was not a place for political prisoners only. In 1845, the so-called lunatics, people who were mentally ill, the lepers, people who suffered from leprosy, the chronical sick, the blind, and the paupers were separated from the community and were banished on the island. Then those who survived due to the outcries in 1931 were taken back to mainland in Pretoria. Then others in Eastern Cape, then those who died were buried on the island. So these are the leper graves on your right. We have approximately 1,500 graves. Some of them are scattered under the trees. Even the maximum security prison was built on the graves. If you want to take pictures on your right, you're welcome. Then the trees that you see on the island are not indigenous. They were imported from Australia in 1888 and were planted on the island for shelter and wood. Trees like the eucalyptus, the manatoka, and the rickeras, but the eucalyptus tree is a drinking problem. It drank all the water on the island. As a result, we are left with saltish water. Our famous fynbos is the natural vegetation of the island, but we do have a desalination plant on the island. Where Australian friends, where are you? Please take your trees and leave the island. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a lonely small prison where the founder member of the Pan-Africanist Congress, the PAC, Professor Robert Sobukwe, was kept. How many people ever heard about Professor Robert Sobukwe in this coach? 1, 2, 3, 4. Steve Biko.
Yeah.
6, 7. Mandela.
Yeah.
Steve Biko was never been on the island. He was murdered in detention in Eastern Cape in 1977. For the people who don't know Steve Biko, please watch a movie called Cry Freedom. It's all about Steve Biko. The late Governor Mbeki and also the late Professor Robert Sobukwe met each other in Eastern Cape University, which was known as the Forte. They formulated the ANC Youth League there. Then, because of the different ideologies amongst them, he broke away from the ANC Youth League in 1959 and he went to form his own organization, which was the PAC. Then on the 21st of March in 1960, he incited people to go to the nearest police stations to demand some arrest and also to burn some drum house documents. It all resulted to a Sharpeville massacre. 69 were shot dead, 186 were injured. He was captured there and imprisoned in Pretoria for 3 years, and the charge was an incitement. When he was about to finish his sentence, the parliament passed a special bill, which was the Sobukwe Clause, a clause which was going to govern him alone in South Africa, a clause which was going to allow him to be detained indefinite in solitary confinement in that house. As a result, he was mentally affected. He was under surveillance for 24 hours. He could sleep or wake up at any time he wanted to. Even the food he ate was the food which was prepared at the mess for the warders. He wore his civilian clothes, not the prisoner's uniform. And the people allowed to visit him was his wife Veronica, his brother, and his kids. He was not allowed to greet or to talk to anyone on the island. If one of the prisoners greeted him, he would scoop a soil from the ground and let it filter through his fingers. So it symbolized that they were the sons of the soil of Africa. They had to keep on fighting for their land. When the authorities discovered that Robert Sobukwe was very sick, they didn't want him to die on their hands. Instead, they released him and kept him under house arrest in Kimberley, while his family was in Graafrenet. It's only his death that brought him his freedom in 1978, and he was buried in his hometown, Graafrenet. But there were many stories about Robert Sobukwe. Some of the books saying that he was poisoned. These were all the dog kennels built after Sobukwe's release. The dogs were used by the warders when they were going to the quarries with the political prisoners. The dog unit was the strongest pillar of apartheid, which kept it alive for 40 years. Dogs were trained to deal with human beings. Some of these dogs had some ranks. Some were kennels, some were constables. Each and every 21st of March, here in South Africa, we commemorate it as the Human Rights Day. In the olden days, it used to be called the Sharpeville Day. Taking you back to America just for 2 seconds. There in America, there are 2 schools of thought, the Malcolm X and the Martin Luther King School of Thought. Robert Sobukwe was more lenient to the Malcolm X, as Mr. Mandela to the Martin Luther King School of Thought. Are you aware of that, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. While Professor was kept under solitary confinement on the island, his kids were adopted and educated by Andrew Young in America. 6 years back, the Andrew Young Foundation was here on the island. He died at the age of 54 years. His wife joined him at the age of 85 years. I can recommend 2 books that you can buy from our curio shop that will tell you a lot about Professor Robert Sobukwe. The first book is How Can Men Die Better by Benjamin Pogrand. And the second one is telling us about the march. Are you with us? Are you with us?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Do you have questions, ladies and gentlemen? Silence means consent. Did you take pictures?
Yeah.
Can we go now?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the Lime Quarry, where the leaders of different political organizations or the people who were kept in B-section or in isolation cells were promised that they were going to work on the Lime Quarry for 6 months. 6 months became 13 and a half years, using primitive tools like hand picks, shovels and spades to dig the quarry. If we were classified as a black or as an African, we had to dress in khaki shorts, khaki shirts and tie sandals on your feet. The winters of Robben Island extremely very cold. Same applies as the summer of the island is very hot. Working 8 hours, 5 days a week. The lime that they dug here was used for binding the roads of Robben Island and also to whitewash some of the buildings in the village. I'm talking about the likes of the late Mr. Mandela, the late Governor Mbeki, the late Walter Sisulu, the man who recruited Mandela to join the ANC, the late Ahmed Kathrada, Mac Mirage, the late Clarence Makwethu, and also the late Eddie Daniels. There are about 30 to 34 of them. Their followers were working on the stone quarry, which is on the northern side of the island, known as the Matiba Quarry. When the political prisoners came to Robben Island, the cave which we'll be seeing later on, they found it there. It is said that it was first dug up by the slaves and the convicts who were brought by Jan van Riebeeck from the mainland. So the political prisoners use it for various purposes. Firstly, to relieve themselves at the toilet. There were 2 buckets that were placed inside. It was practically impossible for a political prisoner to go and relieve himself elsewhere because the order of the day was shoot and shoot to kill. Should anyone leave this place to answer nature's call of privacy, that one needs to be alone. Again, they use it for classes. There were doctors, lawyers, teachers, who were also political prisoners. Those who are academic used to teach those who were illiterate. A practical example of Eddie Daniels, who came to Robben Island with a grade 7 certificate, but he went out with 2 university degrees, the BA and the BCom. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, education on Robben Island was not a right, it was a privilege. A word that a right to destroy your studies. Even if we're going to write some exams tomorrow, that's why the political prisoners adopted the slogan, each one teach one. Political discussions took place on that cave. The basics of the constitution which governs South Africa today were discussed down there. In other words, we'll be seeing the first democratic parliament of South Africa. Again, it's where they used to eat lunch. Just imagine you're eating your lunch, 2 buckets are standing next to you. That was also the storeroom for their tools. Due to the international community pressure with the help of Helen Suzman, who was the member of parliament at that time, all quarries were closed in 1978. They started developing some trades like bricklaying, carpentry, welding, and so on. And that was the cave which I was talking about. During the leopard period,
The church.
it was the main leopard church called the Church of the Good Shepherd. Built in 1895, designed by Sir Herbert Baker, who also designed the Union buildings in Pretoria, the Groote Hospital in Observatory, First National Bank at the street in Cape Town. The money which was used to build the church was donated by Reverend Watkins. A female leper church was demolished along when a leper colony was destroyed in 1931 on the island. So only piece of land that doesn't belong to the state, it belongs to the Anglicans. Male lepers were separated to female lepers, but 41 children were born. They're to be adopted by people on the mainland. Please don't ask me how. Where there is a will, there's always a way. Thank you. A medium prison on your left or in front, built in 1974. It's where the common law prisoners or the criminals were kept, but the Robben Island Museum is using it as a multi-purpose learning center for the youth. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the village of Robben Island. The houses that you'll be seeing were used by the warders and their families. Due to the Department of Arts and Culture taking over, they had to move to the mainland. Then the staff of the Robben Island Museum is the one who's using the houses.
Convicts, prisoners. The island is very big.
Museum is using it as a clinic for the staff. Some sports facilities on your left were made by the political prisoners and were used by the warders and their family.
Clubhouse.
can see church on your right, built in 1841 by Congress during the time of Commandant. If you notice on top of it, there is a flag pole. And the tradition of the island was, if a baby boy was born on the island islanders would hoist a blue flag, a pink flag for a girl, then the girls of the church is away, and the islanders rush outside the houses to celebrate. While the islanders are celebrating it, their pocket time to this side, their political prisoners on that side were longing to send to touch their children. That's why Mr. Mandela loved the kids so much. John Craig Hall on your left or in front, named after the Scottish civil engineer, the man who fortified the island during the Second World War, where the indoor sports and other functions are performed. Island Primary School, which has closed down December 2011 by the Education Department, complaining that the number of the kids was few. During the knockbout days of the rough season, they don't come over for schooling, they would be turned back home. And then it was also because of the budget constraints. Beside, it's not the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Our guest house, which is 2 presidential suites and also some conference facilities inside, built during the Victorian era. Even the furniture inside is of a Victorian style. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a scenic view of Cape Town. We will stop in the right place so that we can take pictures. Man, this is the right place for you to take pictures of Cape Town. Restroom facilities are available on the other side of the building. Not to forget the smokers to smoke. Can also visit our tuck shop, whereby we're buying some cool drinks, water, candy bars, sandwiches, etc.
So we continue again.
And the political prisoners. The stone which was used to build the prison was excavated to one of our stone quarries, the Matiba Quarry. It is known as the Malmesbury Slate. You will be taken by prison guide, a person who served some many years on the island. Feel free to ask anything. Take your belongings with you, I'll repeat again. Take your bags, your cameras, your spouses and your kids. Because this coach is going to be used for another tour. After your prison tour, you will be doing a long walk to freedom. In other words, you walk back to the harbor. Here on the Robben Island, we are not just preaching a reconciliation and practicing it. We've got a unique team working with ex-warders, ex-political prisoners, working hand in hand. On behalf of the Robben Island Museum Associate and me, we wish to thank you for coming and visiting the island. We wish you a safe, a pleasant, and a memorable journey back to the mainland. Not to forget to share nice staying to the visitors who visited our beautiful country, South Africa, because they are the ones who are boosting our economy. Thank you, goodbye, tot ziens, auf Wiedersehen, merci beaucoup, bon voyage, ciao, slon.
So now we are going for what tour? The castle tour. Yeah, okay. The prison. Okay, I'm going to the prison right now. We are done with the coach tour. So going for the prison tour. And there is a guard who is going to take us.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
What a nice response. Can I repeat it again?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. A vibrant group, eh? This is the first time I'm meeting a group like this. You're all welcome to Robben Island Museum, okay? All right, my name Doza. Doza is a short name, all right?
Yeah.
All right, it's my short name. Why I decided to make it short? Because when you lose my sight here, you meet one of my lions. You can say that, no, you was with Ndoza. But my full name, I know that I'm dealing with tourists who are coming from other countries who cannot fully pronounce my name because it is very difficult. You want to try?
Yeah?
Yes, please.
All right. My name Dozelizwe.
Dozelise.
Thank you. I've heard the lady and this one. All right. In English means things of the world or national issues. Afrikaans dinge van die wêreld. In Sotho ke ntho tse lefatshe. I am the former ex-political prisoner who was kept in this prison. Smoking inside. It is prohibited. Whilst I take you through to the prison door, you may ask me questions. And you are also allowed to take pictures as much as you can. I've said I was also a prisoner kept in this prison. I was arrested on the 18th of June 1984.
For what reason?
Charged under Section 29 of Terrorism Act. Detained 6 months in a single cell in Pearl Prison. And on the 18th of June 1986, I was sentenced 14 years. And again, I only spent 4 years in this prison instead of 14.
How?
We were released unconditionally.
Okay.
It was during that time when the National Party government, who ruled the country for a first century, wanted to come up with a conflict resolution within the country. The country, it was getting out of their hands. They were not able to rule the country the way they like, meaning that the country, it was ungovernable.
Okay.
What made the country to be ungovernable? There were various factors of which I'll touch them in a due course. But it took such a long period, a long time, for the National Party to realize that they have to negotiate with all political parties so that they could come up with a solution within the country. What made them to realize that? Factor one, were international campaigns led by countries who were not in favor of apartheid, who were demanding the release of the late Comrade Nelson Mandela and other political prisoners. Factor two, internal campaigns led by trade unions under the Federation of COSATU and the United Democratic Front were also demanding the release of the late Comrade Nelson Mandela, and other political prisoners. Good people, are we still moving together?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Factor number 3, religious organizations were not in favor of apartheid, were also demanding the release of the late Comrade Nelson Mandela and other political prisoners. Factor 4, the students under the banner of COSAS were also demanding the release of the late Comrade Nelson Mandela and other political prisoners. Factor 5, the armed struggle which was waged by political organizations, the PAC and the ANC, through their military wings, APLA and MK, who also intensified the attacks inside the country. Those attacks made the National Party to realize that they have to negotiate with all political parties so that they could come up with a solution within the country. The last but not the least, because I don't want to keep you standing for quite a long time. 1988, there were sanctions that were imposed against South Africa. Those sanctions made the country to lose some of the businesses. Pepsi Cola left the country. Chrysler Daimler also left the country. It was the turn of the Swiss American to leave the country. Swiss American is a company that is dealing with all the products that are coming direct from the soil of South Africa. Good people, is there anything that you need me to clarify, or any gray area, or a question? Are we together?
Yes.
Thank you. This was the main entrance of the prison. When they brought us down from the harbor to the prison with leg irons and then cuffs, all these doors were locked. The prison warder who was with us, he would bang this door like this or knock like this 3 times. Dangiek, meaning thank you, Kate. The one who was in possession of the prison key, he will open up this door. All right? Before we reach the cells, we have to pass 4 steel doors. All of them were locked. And now you are coming inside. All right? But you are going to be in 2 groups. Group number 1, you are going to start here on my left hand side. On the passage, only the 2nd door on your right and the 3rd door. You go inside. Don't go further.
Replay. Somebody give it.
You have no idea of the cruelty of man against man until you have been in South Africa prison with white warders and black prisoners. Whoa. Politics and drug. What's the honey? I be safe though. Okay.
The black, green, and gold, they are the colors of the ANC.
Okay.
Black, green, and gold.
Okay.
This one and this one are the colors of the National Party. All right?
Okay. The soldiers. I think it's for the soldiers or the prisoners. No, nothing inscription on it. Okay, it's here. Prisoners clothes here. Okay, This is when you are becoming a prisoner. The process to register your name. This room was used to process prisoners, okay? Handcuff and leg irons were removed. Prisoners were stripped and their prison, okay? And that is the book for registration. Oh, very good book.
This was when we arrived, we started in this office for administration purposes. And it was where we were issued or given prison cards with our prison numbers. In the class cabinet, there's a small booklet there. That is the prison card. Alright? Are we together?
Yes.
Yeah. And then when you look, there's a writing on the side which says on funds, Afrikaans, reception. Alright? And there it says, D, have you noticed that? D, the lowest category. A, the highest category. Alright? Here in prison, we were categorized in 4 groups. And in those 4 groups, they were different in terms of getting privileges of writing letters, receiving letters, and getting visits. To buy fruits, biscuits, and sweets, only 8. But it does not mean that when a person was moved from one category to another, that he was permanent. You can be demoted at any time and start afresh back to D. When you are demoted, all the adjustments were taken back. And then he was removed from the A's to go and join the D's again. From B back to A, we got demoted because we failed to comply with the rules of the prison. Refusing, defying, disobeying instructions from prison orders were regarded as our superiors. Or sometimes I'm being caught in a section which was not allocated for me. Now don't confuse with the categories now. I'm talking about the sections. All the sections of this prison, they are being identified alphabetically. They are starting from A section to H section. Others are single cells for individuals. Others are big cells for many people. That can accommodate 50 to 60 people. Let's say I was allocated to be in F section on this side. And then the prison would catch me in E section on this side, which was not my section. That was a charge against me because I have violated, that is the rules of the prison. You get demoted for that.
I'm still in the prison. The political prisoners. Were they fighting for political freedom?
On the section where the late Comrade Nelson Mandela and other political leaders were kept. It is going to be the last part of your prison tour. The section that you're going to enter now is A section. Now you'll be quickly going inside the cells where you'll be reading our short cell stories. And if you want to take your own picture inside, we are free to do that. No one can claim these cells because all of us, during our arrival, we all started in this section. All right?
So you start from 1? Okay. Close after doing it. I got then RCs in the prison. At times I would use bandages for my wrists, elbows, hands. Okay, different shoe. They were made by the old man. Okay. Oh, okay, the person. Okay, I didn't see. Swazi Birdman, 1984. And this is Johnson and Blambo. 63 to 83. So how many? 20 years? You were being stabbed on an island in a very organized manner. There was a lot of food smuggling going on in the prison. Others were involved in it. You know, come on, blah blah blah. James Ngundila. So that is his prison. What's in here? Okay, thanks. Okay, actually, so these are individual cells. So each cell room for one person. Individual cells. Sadiq is Isaac's. This one looks like a red Indian. The color. Okay.
We are going to end that now. Is B section, where the late Comrade Nelson Mandela and other political leaders were kept. Here in the courtyard, there are two pictures. The picture that is going to be on the right when you face them is the late Comrade Nelson Mandela, with his cover shows the late Comrade Walter Sisulu. Those two pictures were taken 1966 by the British newspapers. They wanted to say whether Mandela was still alive or not. At that time, there was a rumor that was mongering around saying that Mandela died in prison. And they wanted to verify it. And then at the end of the courtyard, when we are inside, where we are going to see the grape tree and 2 apple trees, it was the garden of Mr. Nelson Mandela when he was transferred to Portsmouth prison on the 31st of March, 1982, with the late Walter Sisulu, Ahmad Katrada, and Rumlangin, and the late Raymond Mtla. The late Elias Mutwalit and the late government took over and take care of Mr. Mandela's garden. And again, 88 Mr. Mandela, from Portsmouth to Victor Verster, where he was released in 1990 on the 11th of February. When you have finished with your pictures in the courtyard, I'll take you through to the cell of the late Comrade Nelson Mandela, where he spent 18 years sleeping on the floor, on the 2 mats and the 3 blankets. Then bottom of that cell, when Nelson Mandela was requested by his co-accused, 1974, that he have to write his own autobiography. The book, Long Walk to Freedom, he wrote it that book in his cell. He used it to bury the manuscript of that book in his garden. Some of the manuscripts were discovered by the prison warders when they were building the foundation of the walls. Nelson Mandela studies were suspended for 4 years. The person who assisted Nelson Mandela to smuggle out the manuscript, it was Mac Maharaj, who was also serving a 15-year prison term.
The political prisoners, sir.
Alright, you can go down.
So this is a courtyard.
This is the courtyard.
Courtyard, okay.
You can go down and look at the picture.
Okay. We created this courtyard. I didn't notice it when we arrived here. We created this courtyard. Okay. This is freedom. Nelson Mandela, okay. Oh, so this is his plant.
The first question, what I ask you, are you here every day?
Yes, sir.
You say yes. And the second question was, is it hard for you to be here every day?
Thank you very much. I knew that. I always experience that question. All right, firstly, when the last group was released on the 27th of April, 1991, we took a vow or a decision that will never again come back and put our foot here. We had reasons. This prison, it was a place of hardship, a place of suffering, a place of sweat and blood. But 1995, when Mandela was still the president of the country, he called all of us as prisoners. It was our first reunion after the last release of 1991. Right? We were 2,500 prisoners, plus 25 prison cars. We held our meeting at the University of the Western Cape. Right? And then it was where we, as prisoners, we decided to swallow our pride. Right? Because we said to each other, if we don't come back, we would be failing the country this much. Right? Because what is happening is that even in South Africa, we are still having people who does not know about apartheid. We felt it was our responsibility to come back and narrate and interact with tourists.
Mandela.
Where he spent 18 years sleeping on the floor, on the 2 mats, the 3 blankets, the dish, the cup, the bucket it was the toilet at night, the book, Long Walk to Freedom. He wrote it that book in his cell.
Nelson Mandela
All
cell.
his cell on his face. And also the leadership of MANDELA.
Why is he not having his name here? Or somewhere there? No name.
With your picture, please follow me this way.
Nelson Mandela cell. Where's his picture? Where's his name? Nothing.
Of our prison tour. I hope that you have enjoyed your tour inside the prison. Now you are going to take a walk down to the harbor, where we're getting the body that will take you back. Thank you very much. Baya danki. Egos kakul. Kalibu. Thank you.
Wow, you see the gate? It's like a whole wall. So it's been closed with a machine. You're lost! Do you remember when we were going, they took us picture? This is a picture.
Back from jail.
50 run. Should I get it?
Don't forget if it tours, you'll have in memory.
This is how they do it. They will just display it and then...
Only a small 50 rand.
Okay, let me get it. 50 rand. This is the end of our Rubin Island tour, the island where Nelson Mandela and other political prisoners were here to suffer, go through a lot and all that. I hope you enjoyed the tour. You've learned something about South Africa as well. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, don't go anywhere, keep following my channel. I'm still here in South Africa to give you more. And until meet again in my next video, is your girl Ifya Kimura. I love you and bye.